Hello, elegant listeners, and welcome on in to Go, my favorite sports team. Today is a day of all days, of many days, in which the podcast has appeared on your page. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I guess that's what it is today.
That was a strange one. I don't know about that.
Losing my mind. I'm Tyler, that's Mark. We're here to talk to you about sports and hopefully make you laugh, but today is a lot about news.
What a pessimistic way. Hopefully make you laugh. Please laugh. You know, Jeb Bush went up on stage and he was like, please clap. It's us every day. We're just like, please laugh. If you don't laugh, there's no meaning in life.
If you can't find a reason to smile, find one.
You better fucking find one. I'm going to give you a reason to smile.
You're going to smile. Mm-hmm. Anyway, StubHub CEO is helping fund the biggest ticket scalpers and is arguably a scalper himself. StubHub and CEO Eric Baker have been hit with a proposed $5 million class action lawsuit in the U.S. over the company's ties to large-scale scalpers. The suit, filed Monday by New York ticket buyer Luis Sanquini, alleges deceptive practices and fraudulent misrepresentation over StubHub's promoting itself as a marketplace for fans to buy and sell tickets. However, the online ticket resale giant has faced a storm of customer complaints after canceling thousands of World Cup tickets, and the company has repeatedly said it is simply a technology platform that does not buy, sell, or process tickets. However, Baker has now disclosed in recent filings with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission that he runs Andro Capital, a hedge fund that engages in large-scale resale of millions of dollars worth of sports and concert tickets on the StubHub platform. So, the CEO of StubHub has stake in Andro Capital that uses StubHub to make money as a scalper for sports and entertainment tickets. Seems like a conflict of interest.
I think that it's fascinating how everyone knows that Ticketmaster, StubHub, all of the ticket sale sites are all colluding to raise prices, to gouge people out. People have been completely priced out of going to concerts. They're just, the real fans are not able to attend these things anymore.
So much that artists are canceling their tours.
Exactly. That's the most fascinating thing. Is like, it used to be like artists could go around, and like any artists of a lot of different levels, but now they're not able to, and they're just like, oh man, I guess I'm not popular. It's like, no, people literally can't afford that. It's absurd. No, it is absurd. The greed in these ticket companies, it's going to boil over at some point. It has to. It's really close right now. The anger of it is drawing a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows. And if they don't know, they're pretty close to knowing. So this doesn't surprise me at all.
No, for sure. And the worst part about it is it really comes to the head, especially in the music industry, how much record labels, ticket sale processors, all of those make money in loads more than the artists themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is I think the biggest issue, because the people want to support the artists that they love.
Yeah.
And if 90% of what they're paying doesn't go to the artists, why go?
Right. Exactly. Because that's the other half of it, is they're taking for this platform for convenience, and it's just nonsensical because they're not the only way to get tickets. Even the technology, maybe back 15 years ago, the technology of being able to online purchase a ticket, and I got a QR code and I just need to go with my phone and I need to show them my ticket. That was not common. Now generating like those kind of QR codes on demand and getting them out to people in the wallet on phones is so convenient and so ubiquitous that you could do that anywhere. I can do that. I can go onto let's say Shopify or something. I can build a website with the plugins there to be able to do that on my own. There is no reason that they need to do that. It's just they have a chokehold on it. There are certain things in these industries that all of the safeguards for preventing monopolies don't exist. They're not enforced.
Yep.
And then everything just gets lumped into this one company that has a chokehold on the entire system and is able to do whatever they want. And what they want to do is see what they can get away with.
Yep.
And they've been able to get away with a whole lot. And then the artists are also responsible sometimes because they hide behind it like, oh, it's not me. Oh, it's Ticketmaster. And even if those that do benefit from it, like they also are complicit in it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of, especially punk rock, there's a reason where I believe it's the All American Rejects were going out and doing pop-up concerts in random locations because that was a way to rebel against this entire systematic ticket price rise.
Yeah.
Like, and how scalping has become a huge thing. I mean, it's everywhere. People see it in cards, resales of any product, really. I mean, consoles was huge for the longest time and still is. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that people, and it's not even, as an individual person doing it, you don't make that much money for the amount of work that you would have to put in. But you're taking away from the people who would actually enjoy the thing just so you can make a little extra money.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some part of some community up there like, well, I get what's going on with these scalpers and I understand that they're just trying to make a buck. It's like, I kind of understand that, it's also like Pokemon cards and shit like that. It's like everyone's trying to find an angle, right?
Yeah.
And most people are just trying to get by. And if they find an angle that people are willing to pay for, it is one thing. The bigger culprit is the system. And it's so much worse when the system is helping. And I guarantee you, these scalpers are not just individual people hucking tickets on the street.
Yeah, there's
organized company behind it.
It kind of goes back to the olden days of massive organized crime.
It kind of does, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is legal framework to say like, hey, this is kind of illegal. Because if there is a company that's like colluding with another company to artificially raise prices by making the scalping problem worse or coordinating to be like, what they're doing effectively is they're double charging people because they have their posted price, but then they have the true price that they're trying to artificially push up because they can't get away on their own platform, or else they would do it of saying like it's $500 and they're like, no, people would reject it. But when people are desperate, it's just like they're trying to induce desperation.
And to go into the depth of it, they're copying what industries do in a lot of ways. I mean, you'd go back to COVID when people hoarded toilet paper to sell toilet paper to make a buck.
Yeah.
And then, but you go down to like, how much does it cost to make insulin?
Yeah, that's
and then the price of insulin is
thing.
Outrageous. You talk about drug companies and stuff like that. It's the same principle that they use. It's just being used by individual people and now other larger groups.
And the insulin situation is kind of the most crazy thing of all, is because it was sold. The patent was sold for $1, to be released, and then it was that thing where it's circuitously got bought by a company who then closed it completely off. There should be a for the common good thing.
Yeah.
And I believe there's the legal framework to do that with a patent. You can release the patent. But also, I feel like if I went into my backyard and I had the lab equipment to make insulin, I would do that, right? And if they're going to come shut me down, I would film that and I would tell the world what I'm doing, and I could be like, because there is such a thing as like inducing moral outrage to try to combat these kind of things. But the problem is making insulin is, you do need a lab and you do need specialized equipment, clean room. I don't know the exact chemical thing
I don't
to do
either. Yeah.
But it's like, if you can open people's eyes to the common sense of what it should be, and you can show people like, I'm trying to do something good. I want to sell insulin for, I wouldn't even want to sell
whatever it costs.
Yeah. I want to run a nonprofit. I want to make insulin. I don't know if there's a way for people to do that. And I don't know if I did that and started advertising it, if that would get shut down. What would getting shut down be like? Would they send the cops, their own goons? What would it be like?
The craziest thing is the easiest way they'll shut you down is they call out safety regulation. And safety regulation is designed to protect consumers and protect people, but it's also used by major industries to shut down smaller suppliers who can't necessarily follow the exact same protocol when they're trying to service things. It's the same reason why a lot of grocery stores have to throw out food that's going bad, even if it's not fully bad yet and can still be consumed. They have to throw it away, and if people rob from it, they can get in trouble for taking the trash because it is a safety issue. It's a regulation that was put in place, and why, in large part, why the U.S. wastes so much food within the industry, as opposed to being able to donate it to food banks or donate it to people in need who need food. Because it's like, it's going to go bad. You know it's going to go bad. People aren't going to buy the stuff that's immediately about to go bad, which is why stores mark it down. But like, it's a loaf of bread. The best by dates are guidelines. It doesn't mean they're necessarily true. Like milk can still be consumed after the sell by date. There's just, it doesn't taste the same. There's a few other things to it. And then if it becomes that, like further out, it starts to curdle and there's other issues and safety things that happen. But there are plenty of food banks. Like you can still cook with milk after it's expired. You can still do a lot of things with it. So it's just a very frustrating thing that exists in the regulatory system.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next story. This one's more funny, but also a safety issue. And I have a video.
If you're wondering, technology might not be able to see the strike zone.
There's a chance that with this fog being this thick,
it is a ball.
they can't get
not operational at the moment.
the input. They can't get the data input.
Can you even see anything?
I can barely see. Now, this is exasperated because the lens being used on it is extremely long. To get that view from that perspective of the catcher, which I can barely tell that is the catcher, you have to have a almost like 2,000 millimeter lens. It's a super television zoom lens. So it's seeing through more fog than would traditionally be there.
Correct.
But that's kind of where they have to put the camera for the tech, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is that's really funny actually. How that is.
So it's wild to me. Like baseball games get canceled because of rain.
Yeah.
Infielders at this game at Wrigley Field could not see home plate. They could not see the ball. The ball is white. Fog is white.
Yeah.
It is a safety issue. If ABS cannot work, that game should not be being played due to the fog.
Yeah.
This was a 4th of July game between the Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
Experienced a delay in the 6th inning because no one could see the baseball. So it was a hilarious moment when the umpire literally says, call stands. ABS is not operational at the moment due to the intense fog. But at one point, Cardinals second baseman J.J. Weatherholt could be seen telling umpires we can't see the ball. Some people were saying at first it was kind of cool. Then it was like, bro, I'm scared because you could not see the ball. And
It could hit you in the face.
not only that, hitting in the chest has been shown time and time again at high speeds can cause cardiac arrest. So it was a weird delay. Conditions were so bad that when the Cardinals attempted to challenge the ball, the umpire said it stood because the ABS system could not work. Game ended up coming to a conclusion after delays and fog cleared out, with the Cardinals winning 3-0 behind a leadoff homer from Weatherholt and an RBI hits from Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson in later innings.
Alex Burleson.
But that's I think one of the only times in history where a game has been delayed due to fog that I, at least in our lifetime, know of.
Okay.
So it was a really interesting game. The fact that they were able to finish it was cool, but funny that ABS would not work through the fog. Moving on. Nintendo brain training professor explains why driving a manual transmission car is better for your brain than an automatic. And this was something that I had found when it first came up.
The reasons to drive manual. A university in Japan just did a study and concluded that driving a manual transmission car prevents the natural aging of the brain. Modulating a throttle,
So it helps keep your
operating
brain
a clutch,
more
and
elastic.
managing a gearbox in terms of what gear you're in gives your brain a neurological workout. Data suggested almost exactly what you would think. It improves your short-term memory, your focus, and your decision-making when you're driving a manual transmission. Obviously, us manual drivers already love it for the connection to the car.
I would look at the data of this study because there are plenty of other things that you can do that are going to improve your brain. All this is going to do is get a bunch of diesel heads and motor junkies being like, see, I'm smarter than you because I drive a manual.
It just helps reduce the aging. It doesn't make you smarter.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what controls did they establish for this study? Like,
Well, baseline, Mark. anything that requires motor skills and physical movement is going to help.
Yeah.
Because you brain processes, you use your brain more, your brain is going to stay more elastic
For
because
sure.
it's being
Yes.
used more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that study basically in and of itself kind of showcases the fact that this makes sense.
It makes sense, but yeah, the controls, what percentage increase are we talking about here? There's no actual data that's been cited. Can you go to the article?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you gaming does better. Because gaming has a lot more coordination and focus and things like that, even though but there are negative effects from these things too. Like, you can't just say like, oh, I play games, therefore I'm smarter. It's like, it's working out certain agile portions of it, but it's like, which ones?
So it looks like it's like trying to help prevent dementia. But it was the brain training games released primarily on Nintendo platforms from 2003 to 2020 was this guy's work.
Okay, keep
because he's
going.
in neuroscience. Because you have to think of which gear to shift to, when to shift. And I will agree to a degree that people are more aware of their surroundings, I think, in a manual transmission more often than, even though it's like more distracting, but people with automatic cars have become complacent just with like autonomous cruise control and things like that. It creates a cognitive decline.
I see no data. I see no data in this article. I don't see a link to the research article. At the bottom, there's a study showing action game players have better cognitive function, which I would believe because that is. And it's like, I'm not trying to be like, no, driving a stick is bad for you. I just don't like articles like this that make a claim that other people will then say when there's no data put in. What percentage increase of the things? What was the age of the population? What is the benefit of, is this an age of population that shouldn't be driving in the first place? Like, how long were they driving a day? All I'm seeing here is getting behind the wheel of a manual transition regularly gives your brain a little workout. Kawashimi says this has a, quote, a significant effect on maintaining mental health and cognitive function. Any mental workout would have significant effect, but he says significant effect, but it doesn't go any further than that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the study because that's the other thing. One of the things that we did in grad school was we couldn't cite articles like this. We had to find the original source and be able to vet it ourselves because, there are different things in there.
I'm not doubting this guy, the Kawashima.
I just don't see a peer-reviewed article that I can find.
Exactly, right?
Part of that might be simply because search engines suck now.
It is true. That is very true. And it's like, I don't doubt the statement that like using a manual transmission car would cause you to use more of your brain than an automatic. That's definite. And that would have a benefit. But this benefit...
I found a different study in 2006. Manual transmission enhances attention and driving performance of ADHD adolescent males pilot study.
There you go.
This is actually a medical article from National Library of Medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But without any percentages, without any raw data, without any actual conclusions out of it, you can't take anything from this article. But then again, it's written by IGN. Therefore, it's pretty trash.
Fair. I just thought it was fascinating after coming back from the racetrack. Granted, they're not stick shift. It's all pedal shifters, which means there's not really a clutch system. It has automated clutch because it is more efficient. It allows for quicker changing of gears and things like that, and generally is safer. And so it just was fascinating to me, especially with something I brought up when we were shopping for cars was legitimately the decline, how so many cars no longer have a manual transmission option, specifically in the United States. Like, it is insanely hard if you really wanted to get one to find one.
It's safer. That's the main reason.
The argument is that because your attention span is that, but there are so many added distractions now in cars. The whole touchscreen system, all of that.
Yeah.
It's
The
whole
more
issue.
automatic systems you put in a car, no matter what they are, reduces crashes and fatalities. It's just like that actually is provable data.
You know what would reduce crashes and fatalities?
What?
Public transit and trains.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. If only we could figure out a way to make cars into more like trains with automation.
Oh my gosh.
We have robots that people buy that are going to sit in the driver's seat and drive everyone's car for them.
I think we just get rid of the roads and make everything trains.
Well, see, okay. That wouldn't work either. See, that's too extreme. You need, because here's the certain things. Train can't go everywhere. If the infrastructure for the train is very inefficient to go multiple different small places, right?
Correct.
So the end result still needs some kind of infrastructure for people to be able to get from A to B through a path that is of their choosing.
Bikes.
Okay, all right. So I'm with you on this one. I do believe bike lanes are slick, but even with a train, there is a difficulty in getting from A to B with a bike, even if electric or otherwise, and having the convenient infrastructure to be able to get there. You still have roads.
Horses.
Okay, all right. Poop is a big problem. The thing is, there should be dedicated zones, if we're going to talk about this in a serious capacity, internally in a city. New York City is a perfect example of this. When you're inside, there should be no cars because the city infrastructure is built in such a way that the trains below it work almost to get everyone where they need to go, and then it's foot traffic for the rest of it or bike traffic for wherever you need to go. That's a great example.
I will say there are outliers and exceptions. People with disabilities, I know elevators exist, but they're not always functional. You also have the issue of people that are immunocompromised can't really be out in the public and be in public transit systems. People more immunocompromised than me that still need some level of transport. So there needs to be some level of transition there that isn't fully public transit. While I love the concept, there are outliers that need to be addressed in that way.
No. Bubble boy. Literally, this has already been solved. Bubble boy. You have a bubble. That's your bubble. You can ride a bike in the bubble.
It's hard to get in and out of a subway.
Too bad. Bubble boy did it. He had a bigger bubble than you would have.
Did he? I'm pretty sure he's smaller than I am.
He had a bigger bubble than you would have. You would not have that big a bubble. He had an oversized bubble.
He did have an oversized bubble.
Yeah, bubble boy.
I get people's need for independence, but it literally, New York City as a microcosm when the subway system is phenomenal. It's been proven over in Europe. There's a reason why people are in better shape and have better health because they walk more. There's less driving that takes place in major cities. A lot of people will take subways or walk further distances to go to and from work. There's places in where people literally get off work and jump in the river and float down river to get home. That's a thing. I forget what it is. Hold on. People jump in the river to commute to work. Where's this? Swiss city like Bern and Basel on the Rhine River. Locals pack their laptops, clothes, and wallets into specialized waterproof dry bags, jump in, and let the glacial current carry them through the city.
They jump into it with their legs.
Yes.
No boat.
Yes.
These folks are on their way home from work, but not in the way you might expect. Every summer in Switzerland, you can catch a glimpse of a pretty wild commute. People swimming along the river as they head home from the office. This unique culture of packing clothes and belongings in waterproof bags and swimming home is possible because of the layout of Swiss cities like Bern and Basel.
Well, that's dumb. I wouldn't catch me dead doing that. Here's the other thing, is there are some cities in America that are more walkable and things like that. The idea that it would be a easy thing to have the kind of infrastructure that a lot of Europe has for America, it's an admirable goal, and that's something that I would want, and I think we can do it. We're America. Ain't nothing we can't do. But
people don't want no sidewalks in their lawn.
I don't even think it's that.
That is a thing in LA.
Not that many people. I think the majority of people do want sidewalks. I think that's probably a very vocal minority that actually is talking like that.
The other thing with sidewalks, do you know this, that you are liable for a sidewalk in front of your house if somebody slips and falls on it during, like, say there was ice because you didn't shovel it or didn't, like, de-ice it, that it becomes your responsibility to maintain that section of the sidewalk. I think that's dumb.
I mean, who else would do it?
I think it should be part of the cleanup. Like, they clean up the roads, they should also clean up the sidewalks. It should be part of that jurisdiction that does the same thing. That's my thought, at least.
I could see it either way.
Because what if the person lives there is incapable of taking care of it? I mean, people that are wheelchair bound, they need nursing assistance, stuff like that.
It's kind of a minority edge case.
Pretty significant number in the population, but yeah.
it's still a minority.
Yeah.
It's I get what you're saying, and I'm not trying to dismiss it, but it's like if you own the property, right, up past the sidewalk, if the sidewalk is owned by you, I could understand that.
Well, the sidewalk is always in that easement zone.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So that's the situation the majority of the time it's in. Like, I understand it in neighborhoods where it's not really an easement thing for use in infrastructure of the city and government use or whatnot.
The reason I see it, and I could totally see it both ways, is because you have an obligation to clear your driveway because it's your driveway. And for me, the sidewalk and the driveway are kind of combined together as one. And if someone delivering a package was going up your driveway
And slipped,
that would be your responsibility.
Correct.
And you couldn't expect like the city to come take care of your driveway.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I see where, and they've drawn the line at the road. And it's like, okay, the city takes care of the road. And it's like, that's the delineation. And that makes a lot of sense for society because it's quick and convenient for them to be able to do that. It is not quick and convenient for them to be able to take care of every sidewalk. I think if they did that, the ballooning of the budget for the city infrastructure
For
team
sure.
would just be astronomical.
And it also would negatively impact the desire for them to put in sidewalks.
Yes, exactly.
So you
right?
want to incentivize.
They would build less sidewalks because they wouldn't want to maintain it.
I think the major issue that exists is there are so many people that don't know that they're responsible for that sidewalk.
That is,
as well.
yeah, that is a different, and that's up to public funding for Good thing we still have PBS,
education. maybe we need better education.
right?
All right. This is an interesting situation. I want to show the video first. This is the very first inning. We talked about ABS briefly. The ABS system exists to where teams have 2 challenges the entire game.
Yeah,
You keep your challenge if you are correct.
yeah, okay.
You lose your challenge if you are incorrect. So if you lose 2 challenges, you have no more challenges the rest of the game.
Right.
This is the first inning. This guy is not a regular batter for this team.
Reina used both his team's challenges.
This is not good.
2 batters into
In the
game.
first
Did he come
inning,
back to haunt them?
he uses both,
You watch.
and both were
Watch this as he
clearly
blows
strikes.
Both of Seattle's challenges within the first 14
Strike.
pitches of the game and gets roasted
Challenge.
by the
Okay,
Mariners
that
in
would be
outs.
close. I could see that one.
But
Randy
it's
challenging this. It does not
thinking
look like
about the
it
grand
will
scheme
go
of the
especially
entire
well for him.
game,
ABS powered by
and
T-Mobile.
you're not an average batter. It's feels incredibly selfish.
That
If you get
first
one
maybe.
wrong,
I would
yeah.
say you get that one.
He locked him up at 97.
And he
Don't do it again.
Yep.
Don't do it again.
It's
man.
like the exact same spot. Yep, he just challenged it.
Yeah. Okay, that's where he goes wrong. I could see him using one because it was close enough that
It's
I'm
like
like,
the exact same spot.
it's in the exact same spot. Yeah. And honestly, if you were the pitcher, yeah, you would hit it right. You would put it right in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, obscene. And there were times later in this game where challenges would have helped them that were clearly balls.
It's got to be like a team's got to put in a policy where it's like you get one, or you should look at your coach if it's worth challenging, right? Not just do it off on your own. Yeah, that's there's going to be a lot of new strategies coming in for that because
it happened again. There was another person who did it in the first inning on another team, like I think last week. So this was like a couple weeks ago. Somebody else did it too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would get it if like you were a regular player and you're like, you've gotten them all right in the past. I can get that.
yeah,
He's not.
yeah.
He had like, this is outrageous. It feels like entirely trying to care about his stats instead of caring about the team's success. That's where it gets me.
Right.
And it's also a situation, there's one out. It looks like there is a guy on second,
Yeah.
but it's not like a major pressing situation. Well, this is showing the bottom of the 6th. Oh, this is showing the other challenges that they missed. So that's clearly outside. But
So
they
now-
couldn't
yeah,
challenge because they're out of
the team is
challenges.
like completely free to do whatever they want.
Yeah, 97 off the plate.
Well, I mean, the umpire's
Here's-
still there, but
Right.
But they can't do anything.
And then
about
this
it.
situation, bottom of the 9th.
Called a strike. Mariners have been out of
So
challenges.
the other thing in that first inning, no one was on. Let me go back to it. They don't. I don't know if they show it.
One challenge matters into the
like
first
this, the screen with the score and
inning. Get
whatnot.
him out of here.
Yeah, they don't show
Yeah.
it.
but I do know because it was talked about. It was in the first inning, nobody on, and I think there were 2 outs, which is also even more ridiculous, which makes it even more selfish.
Yeah.
2 batters into the game, already out of ABS challenges. Yeah, so 1 out, nobody on.
Yeah. Oops.
Just ridiculous.
Big oops.
But then a few days later, Los Angeles outfielder Alex Call found himself the center of online criticism after also doing ABS challenges in the first inning against the Colorado Rockies, making the Dodgers. And this was his opening at bat with both calls upheld. And he got compared. So the same thing happened. And again, Alex Call, not your regular player, again, feels very selfish. Continuing with baseball controversy.
No.
Bryce Harper arrived on the cell phone of a habitual sports bettor in November 2024.
Hey Terry, what's up, brother? Hey man, your host Brittany from FanDuel wanted to make sure your Thanksgiving was extra special.
The situation is this. FanDuel, Bryce Harper filmed essentially a cameo video for FanDuel to send to a gambling addict who spent a lot of money on FanDuel. Supposedly said, I did not know FanDuel would do this. When he read FanDuel, your host, in the video.
Yeah, wait. He didn't know it was going to a gambling addict, but he still did it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he received a personal request on Cameo in 2024 to read the provided script, holiday video for Terry. But in the cameo, as we saw.
And your host Brittany from FanDuel wanted to make sure your.
Hey man, your host Brittany from FanDuel. Wanted to make sure your Thanksgiving was extra special. So the issue here is he clearly knew it was FanDuel, which he should know as a gambling site, as a athlete, and almost everyone does. And he didn't know FanDuel would do this, and he did not consent to it. FanDuel had no right to it.
Okay, I'm actually backing off of my ledge a little bit because with cameos, right? I don't do them, but I know how it works, right? You get requests and you're doing it.
You're given a script.
FanDuel didn't come to him for this.
It was his host.
It was through Cameo, probably just a random person. The script provided in Cameo, he wouldn't have known that it was from FanDuel. Even though it says FanDuel in there, I get that. Maybe there's some plausibility here to deny him. I don't know if this guy is sponsored by FanDuel.
Probably not, as far as I know.
So I could see it a situation where he's just cranking out 100 of these because he's got 100 cameos in the queue or whatever, and he's just like blasting. You can hear him reading. He's reading word for word like, this is your old Brittany one. It's not smart what he did.
Yeah.
But how could he have known that that was going to someone with a horrifying gambling addiction? And also, it's rude for FanDuel. It's probably wrong for FanDuel.
That's where I was going to get into.
Okay, I get you.
Is what he did
dumb. Right.
Plausible deniability. What FanDuel did, horrifying.
Yeah.
To take somebody's obvious, probably favorite player, because they probably talk sports and all of that stuff, and try and use that to manipulate them to come back to spend more money on your website to continue gambling.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. But then again, it is up to the individual on Cameo to make sure that they're not just reading straight up ad buys, which I think probably happens a lot.
Yes.
Where they get Cameo requests that are like, hey, can you read this script? And it's like, then they're just being paid $50 to do an ad read.
Why do you have an agent? Especially a sports agent. Why aren't they vetting some of your cameos
They're
as
probably
well?
not looking at it.
But you could have them do it. They're getting paid.
Even if they said they would, they probably wouldn't do it.
That's also
true.
true.
And they wouldn't. The way Cameo works is like it's an app on the phone, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there probably is a way for your agency
to have an admin,
to have other people go in there, but it's also like some people might just be like, I mean, not everyone's gonna have a personalized manager that's gonna be looking through everything. So it's like a lot of people come like say to me is like when I play a game that the developer has something wrong with them, they go like, "Oh, don't you have a team to vet this?" It's like I don't.
Yeah.
No one's vetting the games that I play because I'm the one picking the games that I play.
Right.
And I just am looking through, and so I can make mistakes all the time. Not all the time. I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty clever and things like that. But some things go over my head.
There's a lot of times too that in the post-production process that stuff that might be a problematic can then be removed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The issue comes in when you're doing it on a live or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it goes back to like, not to go back to this particular instance, but in YouTube days, the Logan Paul incident.
Yeah.
All the levels of going through to get to that end result and post it. How? And I feel like this has less layers, but still in the sentence, saying FanDuel, that should have been red flag number 1.
Yeah.
So his was more of a mistake. There's a lot of other things that happen in here, but what FanDuel did is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So Thompson and March sued the receiving member of this cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson and March sued FanDuel and his VIP host Brittany Morgan, who requested the cameo, along with DraftKings, the NFL, and the league's official data distributor, Genius Sports, claiming that the sportsbooks caused him to become addicted, leading to approximately $2 million in betting losses.
Oof.
We interrupt this important moment of this live broadcast because Mark has lost his mind and he's threatening Little Fingy. You need to save him. Please, look at him. He's going crazy. Hello, everybody. And because you guys haven't done enough or bought enough merch to keep me from being shiny and keep me from crying and make me all happy, we have to resort to other methods. And that method is threats. That's right. Little Fingy here is gonna get it. Unless you guys buy enough merch and make him out of my threat zone. That means you gotta buy his shirt, get him out of my threat, or else he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it real good. And I'm gonna murder him. I'm gonna kill him. And you know what? All the other items, they're not safe either. If you don't buy it and sell it out, they're gonna get it. You guys should go and get some fantastic merch. Not only does it support us and keep me from crying and unshiny, but you'll save lives. And the lives of these t-shirts. That's right. You bring it, you gotta do it. It seems like the only way you're going to be able to save Little Fingy is by buying the merch. There's a link that's going to come after this. You need to save Little Fingy. Oh, I lost my weapon. Ah! Oh no, Marcus turned his sights on me. Oh, I gotta run. Oh my gosh, he's coming. Ah! Save my Little Fingy and save me. Buy merch at store.gmfsc.com. Oh. Okay, NCAA rules with the transfer portal. Gets really hairy here. Western Kentucky's Victory Vaca had his mom pass away, and he went to visit his family, and be with his family to mourn. In this entire situation, he got permission. He had talked to his coaches and stuff like that to go and do this. Mm-hmm. Camp started back up after strength coach had messaged him, I believe, saying that it was okay, you could take some extra time. He gets messaged from a different coach saying, "Where are you?" The next day, Markiplier did not report, and in NCAA rules then bars him from transferring. On top of that, he loses his scholarship because Western Kentucky decided to drop it, and thus this whole incident nearly ends his career, and very well could. So this is the video that I think covers it the best in brief
Kentucky
terms.
Senior defensive lineman Victory Vodka laid his mom to rest on May 9th. 3 weeks later, Western Kentucky canceled his scholarship and cut him from the team. Multiple FBS teams would be willing to sign him if he were able to transfer.
So people would want
except
him.
NCAA
He's a very good
rules
player.
dictate that he cannot. Here's why. When Vaca went home in April to initially grieve his mom after her sudden passing, Western Kentucky staff knew he was gone and allowed him to go home. Later, a assistant strength coach called Vaca, according to Vaca, and told him he did not need to report until June. Then
That's
on
the
May
strength
26th,
coach.
his position coach asked a question. "Where are you?" He wasn't in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The next day, Western Kentucky canceled his scholarship. Normally, if a player gets his scholarship canceled outside of the transfer portal window, he's allowed to enter the portal under a special exemption.
This is the
But
rule
Western
in
Kentucky
NCAA.
classified Vaca as a failure to report. So instead of being able to enter the portal, Vodka had to appeal to the NCAA for a waiver to enter the portal. The
And they
NCAA
denied
denied
it.
it. There's no lack of interest in Vodka. Multiple schools would be willing to sign him, according to his agent.
The problem here exists in the fact that the communication issues in there that led to this particular thing, the fact that it surrounds the passing of a family member, which is a whole thing, like you would think people would make an exception for that. The NCAA denied it. CBS Sports denied it. CBS Sports, like, also covering it. Like, multiple, like, Western Kentucky refuses to comment. NCAA refuses to comment. This guy's scholarship for school, a sport that he loves, all denied. and he can't go elsewhere and get a scholarship because of how they chose to do it. Is absolutely devastating. Is one of the many times where the NCAA has made a massive error and has a major issue on their hands. There's a player in other ways that was doing gambling, and he's barred from playing anymore. That makes sense because there was a lot of other issues and different things with that. This is completely different, and the circumstances around it is just devastating.
Why can't the school undo it?
Once they make that distinction, well, here's the thing. Do they want to? They probably took that scholarship and already gave it to somebody else. So they don't have a scholarship spot anymore. 2, then I don't know if he's able to do it as the NCAA. It sounds like they don't want him. If they cut him and dropped him, but Western Kentucky refuses to comment and NCAA refuses to comment. I don't know what's going to happen in this situation, but it's really, really shitty.
Yeah. Why won't they comment?
Yeah. It's not like he's a bad player.
How long has it been since this happened?
3 weeks-ish, I believe.
Why wouldn't they comment? What?
Because they don't want to, I guess, say the wrong thing or...
This is where I miss old media or like old types of media where you would just have a journalist literally like
knocking on your door.
What the fuck is this about?
Yeah.
Like literally bashing down their door trying to get an answer about him. Because this is what needs to happen. People just need to be like, instead of, because that's the problem. A lot of people think that going online and like sending a message is equivalent to that. No. Human psychology, when someone's bashing on your door, like, it's very hard to ignore. And if enough people are outside going like, and it's not even that much because you could have 10,000 comments online.
For sure.
If you get 50 people outside of a room going, hey, what the fuck is going on? That's different.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also like, when it's somebody's livelihood, especially nowadays with playing in college sports as we'll jump to here, where Auburn players are set to share roughly $6 million in a groundbreaking nil deal attached to the Aflac kickoff game, which is the kickoff of college football, I believe. That amount of money is life-changing for people. In his case, all of a sudden he's not playing. He cannot get those deals. He cannot make a living. There's a lot of different things that are going into college sports now. There are college athletes that make more than they would if they made it to the professional ranks. And frankly, in my opinion, extremely out of control because it's used to manipulate who goes where and transfer portals and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But in that particular situation, it's not just barring him from being able to play and get his education. It's barring him from potential major financial loss. Scholarship in of itself is financial loss. So that's a whole massive layer of things on top of it. And he's a senior. And he had transferred to that school as well. It's lack of communication internally resulted in what happened. And I don't know what rules and things exist to be able to even rescind what they decided to do.
Yeah. I think that there's a clear case for a lawsuit here because if one of the other coaches said, don't be back until June, and then May 26th is like, where are you? That's messed up.
Yeah. The hardest part is I believe it was like an assistant strength coach. So it's not one of the top coaches.
Okay. I
so
see.
It's an interesting situation where it's a lower tier coach that said it was okay. So there's a couple of instances in that situation where that does make me question some stuff because it's an assistant strength coach, which isn't generally a major part of the overall coaching staff. You've got your head coach, you've got your coordinators, which are the next tier, then position coaches usually after that, head strength coach and assistant strength coach. Kind of the lowest of the low in the tier of the coaching tier in that category, which does make it really interesting because it's like, was there communication to the other coaches about the situation that was going on? Where did the assistant strength coach hear it? Or, different things along those lines. And is the assistant strength coach an intern that's a student? Are they actually paid staff? I mean, there's a lot of questions there. But even then, if one person on the coaching staff says something, yeah. And the hard part, the other thing too, it was a call. It's claimed as a call, which also makes things hairy in the sense of legal because there's no proof except for that they could go into call records and see there was a phone call.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's rough. That is a rough situation. I mean, the school could easily make this right, and it wouldn't, let's be honest, it wouldn't cost the school that much.
No.
Yeah, they could just do it, and they won't do it for some reason. So.
No.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing. Any last words, any last comments, anything else?
No, nothing at this time. Check out store.gmfst.com so you can get your merch. Sizes are starting to sell out, so go check it out.
You can go to the Reddit, reddit.com/r/GMFST to enter your Jacuzas, give us episode ideas, give us news, because a lot of times, especially in the U.S., it's hard to get news outside of the U.S., or at least harder to find. So appreciate you all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. FIFA, we have beef, but we'll talk about that later. Bye.
Bye.